So, why don't you tell everyone who you are, what you do, and where you live?
Okay, so my name is Karen. I am a graphic designer for an online retailer, and I'm from Dallas. Eh,
Oh, Dallas. Okay. Okay. And when Karen first signed on, I was like, oh, she's from Texas. People in Texas are confused how to dress for the weather and hot weather. So I was like, this is gonna be a fun challenge. Okay. So my next question for you is if you were to describe your style in one word before NLW and then after NLW, what are the two words you would use?
Uninspired and refined.
Elaborate on that for me.
So, uninspired being I followed influencers, like affordable fashion influencers, and it's like, oh, they're wearing that, so I'll buy that. It's not me. It's like, if it worked for them, it'll work for me. That's not true. And then refined being it's like I'm getting closer to where, with you and I working together, it's I'm getting closer to where I want to be, having a versatile closet, wearing color and print, and still, it's not cutesy or something. Yeah, so
Yeah, I love those two words that you use because they're very visual too. Like when I hear uninspired, I think of someone walking into a closet and just like having no expression. And then
right.
when I hear refined, it's just like aligned, sophisticated. It's you. It feels authentic to you.
Yes,
Mhm.
authentic. Yes, it's like
Yeah, awesome. I'm so happy to hear. So, um, you had not worked with a stylist before, and I remember we had our first call, and you were a little nervous about making the investment, as most people are, and I get it. I get it. What made you decide to ultimately take the leap in working with Next Level Wardrobe?
so like you've mentioned earlier, I started a new decade and I spent so much time dedicating my time and my life to my kids, raising them and doing all these things. And it's like I was taking the back seat and they're getting to the age, they're girls, they're
Mhm.
getting to an impressionable age where, it's like the way I carry myself, how I do things, it's important. And I want to be that role model for them. I want them to lean on me and setting them off, on the right path. And working with a stylist, I've spoken to a few, and it's
Mhm.
like capsule wardrobes, color analysis, doing what's trendy, but they weren't answering the question. It's like it always felt like I would have to come back and spend more money on a new closet that I don't necessarily want to invest in. I wanted to spend money on things that I know will last, that's going to last me more than a season,
Mhm.
right? So, and that's kind of where when I met you, and I was like, okay, there's mindset change, and that's like a big thing. I've drank the Kool-Aid, you know. I drank the Kool-Aid, and it's like I was listening, I was like, oh wow, like everything that I've kind of evaluated, like our sessions, and I'm like, I've implemented. It's like a lot of if the mindset isn't there, then you're just not. It's not going to be sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, the other thing I wanted to ask you was about work from home because you mostly work from home, yeah, like throughout the whole week.
Yep.
And had you gotten into a slump of kind of wearing the joggers and the sweatpants and maybe PJs from time to time and stuff? Was that was happening to you, right?
Yes. So I work from home like all week. So I was literally rolling out of bed, like, brush my teeth. I don't have meetings at all. So no one is seeing me. And so I would go from wearing pajamas all day, and then my kids come home, and then I'm still in pajamas. They're like, oh, and then,
They're like,
then we,
"Mommy, why did you just wake up?" Yeah.
right. They're like, well, you don't do anything. I was like, and so it was, and then we would, do their extracurricular activities, and I would. change into shorts or something, but it still looked like I rolled out of bed. So
Yep.
now I make an effort to put on clothes. It's not uncomfortable clothes. It's like, normal clothes, but I look put together where it's like, hey, I got to go to the grocery store during my lunch break. I don't look like I rolled out of bed.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. And you touched on something, you still feel comfortable, but you feel more refined and put together. Is that correct?
Yes. So
Awesome.
that
Awesome.
was that's also a mental shift. Like, I don't want to get dressed. I'm like, just get dressed, you'll be fine. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's funny because like sometimes you're just getting mail, right? And then like the mailman's looking at you like,
Yeah.
girl.
Girl, get your life together.
Yeah,
What is
I was like,
happening
are you
here?
okay?
So let's talk about working with Next Level Wardrobe. So you worked with me, and it was so fun to work with you. And right when we had our first call, I had all these visions of what I wanted to do with your style. And so thank you for being so open to the process and trusting me. But can you tell everyone what stood out during our time together, during the services, one to two things that really stood out to you as memories of that?
So I learned so much during our try-ons. Like the when we went through my closet, you pointed out things that I thought they were. I loved it because they fit. You're like, actually, that's probably a part of your issue. And yeah, and then we went through actual trying on the new clothes. I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't know about this. And it's like it worked out great. And the more I understood like how things are meant to fit on me.
Yep.
So now I know how to look for that and like what good clothes feel like on me. And
Mm,
so now, even like that, I go back into the things that we kept, whether it be
mhm.
shoes. I'm like, I don't have time to wear these shoes anymore. I don't want these because they're not comfortable. I don't,
Yep.
and it's like they're cute. And we talked about that where I had tons of shoes. They're
Yep.
cute, but they're not comfortable. So I'm not going to waste my time on that. And then it's like
Yeah.
I'm still pulling out stuff where I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is kind of itchy. Okay, I'm gonna maybe throw that out. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's like things like that. So
That's
that's kind
so
of what,
amazing. It sounds like you're holding your closet to a higher standard now.
yes. And I have a big closet. So I felt like I needed to fill it up. But honestly, I'm using a quarter of my closet and I'm okay with that.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome to hear. And then what? Because we are on the cusp of ending our work together, and so we haven't even had your graduation call, but I was like, "Karen needs to come on here and tell everyone, okay, what she experienced." So, can you share with everyone, because you've been able to live in your new wardrobe now, what has changed for you after working with Next Level Wardrobe? So, the top 2 to 3 things that come to mind for you.
Okay. So one of the things is embracing my body where it is now. I was before I was like, I I don't it's because I'm not fit. That's why I don't fit these clothes. It's
Mhm.
because whatever, all the excuses, like I don't have to have the clothes fit perfectly out the door. Now what one of the biggest things that I've learned is tailoring my clothes. Like I shared with you the other day, I
Mhm.
tailored a jacket. Like that's not something that I think I'm like, I know men do it for like their suits. I'm
Yeah.
like, why wouldn't I tailor this jacket? I love it. I wear it a lot. And I'm like, and it looks so much more polished doing that. I'm like, it's an investment on something I know I'm going to wear long term.
Yep. And you did that on your own too.
Yes,
I
I know.
I I woke up to a DM from Karen, and she sent me pictures, and she was celebrating the fact that she decided to do tailoring on her own, and she loved the jacket so much that she found a tailor, she went to the tailor, she got it tailored, and you had shared like this is something I would have never spent money on
Mhm,
before, but now you see the value, now you've experienced higher quality clothing too.
for sure.
Oh,
So that
that's so good. Anything else come to mind?
I'm constantly learning new things every day, like, about myself. I'm like, "Oh, you know what?" I'm like, "That's a shift." I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, just that, and then, like, I have, like, we've talked about some of the gaps that I have in my closet still, and I have that list, and I even have a list of brands that I want to try, and it's like, I don't need that now, but, just something for later on. If that's somewhere where I wanna look, hey, that's fine, but since working with you, it's like n I haven't bought unnecessary things.
Yeah. And have you, like, unsubscribed from retail emails and all the things
Yes.
too?
Unsubscribe from retailers. I've unfollowed a lot of influencers, and I've picked up I've picked up influencers that don't try to sell me stuff. Like, they're
Mm,
actual fashionable people that they're just like, "This is what I wear, this is what I do,"
yep,
and it's like, I just look at it solely for styling,
yep,
and that's nice. It's like, I'm more aware now on spending 5 to 10 minutes, a couple times a week just to be in the know of fashion, just so I know that whenever I do need a shop, I'm not feeling overwhelmed. So it's just the
yeah.
constant exposure
Yeah,
is
it's
helping me.
the
Yeah, it
skill that
really
you're
is.
developing. Yeah, that's so great. And I love how you're very clear, like, okay, this is what I want to fill in my wardrobe. These are the brands. It's like you're very organized now. And it sounds like your style probably takes less mental energy from you. So you can
Yes,
actually start to have fun with it too.
for sure. Oh, can
Hmm.
I add on to that? So, like,
Yeah, yeah,
with the
please do.
clothes that we've picked.
Hmm.
So, like, some days I'm like, I don't have a feeling on what I want to wear. I'll grab something and then, like, I know there's like a safe, like, something that I'll pick. And then if the on the days I want to feel experimental, I'll try to pair it differently than I have before. And
Yep.
that's a new look. And it's kind
Yeah.
of like something you don't think about doing, and that costs me
Yep.
nothing, right? Like, I
Yeah.
already put all
Yeah.
that investment up front.
Yep.
So,
It's like you have all the right ingredients now, so now it's just like
yes.
using it in different ways, you know?
Yes. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't even have to think about it. I'm just like, "Try it. Just try it."
Ye Yeah, and then the biggest win I wanna share with everyone as we close is Karen had a birthday trip to
Yes.
London last fall. Tell everyone, how you packed for that trip and how much you packed for that
Oh
trip.
my I think the mental energy, I already knew what I wanted to pack. I was like, "Okay, I'll start with this," and literally things just fell into place. I think it was a 5-day trip, 5 to 6-day trip. I probably brought 10 to 12 items minus undergarment and, socks.
Yep,
But I use the system. My kids' closet aren't the same, but then I kinda use that what I've learned here, and I've applied it to theirs and how I pack their clothes. I was like, "Okay, you need dark," like, things like that.
yep.
So I use that with my kids too, so then they were able to have different outfits, you know? So that was great, and we
Yeah, that's so good, and it makes your life easier because usually
oh,
the
yeah.
women are the ones packing, right, for
Yes.
the kids, so
Oh, yeah. Every
and then you just packed in a light carry-on too, right?
Yes. Yep. It's so
Amazing,
easy.
amazing. Big win. So let's end with what would you tell people who are watching this who are nervous to make the investment, nervous to spend money on themselves as a mom? What would you tell them about working with Next Level Wardrobe?
I get it, and it's worth the investment, and there's no better time to invest in yourself than now, because if you don't show up for yourself, who's gonna show up? No one's gonna care for you more than yourself. So,
Hmm.
that's and that's the one way to do it for sure.
Yeah. And the time is now. The time is
Yeah.
now. So look at you
Oh,
ready to go into 2025, all stylish and stuff.
yeah. Oh, sorry, I and yes, I will say that the NLW team, um, you provided a very personalized experience where it wasn't cookie cutter. I love color, I love print, I love all the wild things, and I pretty sure I mentioned that I didn't want a boring style.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking for the best you, this is definitely the route to go.
Yeah, and I'm so excited because your style feels like you, and that is, like, the most important thing to me as a founder of the company, as a stylist, that you walk into your closet and it doesn't feel like you're wearing a uniform, it feels
Yes.
authentic to who you are, and I love your selfies that you send me. Keep sending them too.
Thanks. Thank you
All
so
right. Well,
much.
thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I love how you were so open and honest with your story and your transformation. And I'm sure you inspired a lot of people tonight.
Oh,
So thank you. I'll email you after this. Okay.
awesome. Thank you so much.